Hey, everybody, it's time for the Baseline Show once again, every week, right here on YouTube. I'm John Wolpert, and I'm here with our regular panelists around the Baseline protocol, our weekly office hours that we discuss recent events for baselining and help people who need to know how to get involved, how to help, how to get help, how to contribute, and how to implement baselining patterns. If you don't know what that's all about, go to baseline-protocol.org and you will find. I heard actually you can go to just baselineprotocol.org. I thought it was a dash too. I thought you had to have the dash, but maybe you don't. I should probably look into that. But baseline-protocol.org, where you can click that slash or that Slack button and get into our Slack channel, which is over 1,000 people at any given time, um, and get help from people. And if you need more than that, you can get more help. In fact, by just asking one of us to set up an email list or anything like that. So with that, I see we've got our friends Stefan Schmidt from Unibright. We've got Samrat Kishore, who is hello. We have Dhruv Malik. We have who's been really one of our newest contributors and a big supporter. Bishwashree Day from India, doing a grants project right now that we'll talk about. Sam Stokes, our illustrious maintainer guy, and congratulations, Sam Stokes and Samrat for being the newest technical steering committee members. They were voted in unanimously, no dissensions, and so now Sam and Samrat, both of them have put in real work and time on the protocol and the community. And we're very glad to have you involved. Sam, it's long past due. You've been doing yeoman's work in the community, and we're all very grateful to that.
Thanks, John. Happy to officially be a part of the TSC.
Right on. I'm told that my voice sounds more like Barry White today, so that's kind of cracking me up. I'm like, oh yeah, do the baseline.
Please don't go there.
Yeah, we should record that one.
Dun 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 dun. All right.
Yeah, can someone turn off the recording? I think that doesn't have to be safe for posterity.
Hey, watch out, because Kyle Thomas is coming in here, and he's going to double down on this, Kyle.
Well, we know that.
That's right.
Kyle doubles down on anything, especially if it's a dare.
Star-Lord and Barry White together again. Hey, Ryan Fish is here, Jack Lee. So yeah, we've got a lot going on, and things are really speeding up now. I think we had some sort of this normal open source community. Sometimes it gets softer, and then it gets going again. And so for as we were all coming out of COVID, it felt like there was some softness there. People just kind of looking at each other, saying, hey, what do we do? What's next? What's next? Well, we got this thing up and it works, and got things like Coca-Cola and stuff working on it. What else do we have to do? And people are like, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? And at some point, somebody stands up and says, we're going to do this. We're going to do these things. And so right now, we have now that for the V1 standards document, which is, I think, ready to go fully to draft. Right, Andreas, friend?
To draft? No.
In the next, in a fairly short time period.
Yeah, I would say the if everything goes well, we should have everything except the test fixtures merged by sometime in July.
Which is right on the time frame we were expecting.
So I have one more PR dropping next week. We have Kyle approve that PR, dude. Section 6. So that on Thursday we can finish out the identity identifiers and credentials section. Anybody interested in identifiers, identity, and credentials? Join the standard call and make your voice heard, because if you don't speak up, sit down and hold your peace.
Right on. Yeah, so that's a really good. I mean, having the standard doc to a point where we can all argue over it, and we can have the standard, the OASIS standards body, review and start to ratify, and then that goes to ISO or what have you. I think that's when and then the test harness is going to be important. So that'll be the next step. Also going on right now is Ryan, and on my team, Ryan and Sam are spending our next sprint for the next 2 weeks, effectively articulating and elaborating the specific technical requirements in turning those into stories and issues and tasks, epics, what have you, that we can, as a development community, go and either have different our respective companies implement those those elements, and companies like Provide, Microsoft and others, EY, where we can say, hey, these are the things we're going to prioritize, these are the things we're not going to do, and it's going to be done in this time frame, or loose time frame, and hopefully we'll have all of that wrapped up with a bow in production before the end of the year. 3Q, 4Q. That's the goal, right? So we can expand or reduce the scope, but the time frame is that time frame, because we want to go to promulgate the standard before the end of the year, so that we can have that for the new year. And that means 2022 should be not only the year of the DID, the modern digital identities for corporates and individuals, but it should also be the year of really going production with baseline in a repeatable, scalable way. I think we've, companies like Provide and Unibright have shown that you can go full enterprise with this stuff, but it's not really repeatable, scalable, and that, a journeyman engineer who's just coming in without good systems knowledge like Kyle does is going to have a hard time getting their head around this stuff. And we've seen that, right? So that's what really the next stage is all about, is getting it so that it's so easy, straightforward, and stable, and there's a nice little path of breadcrumbs from becoming aware of baselining to implementing awesome stuff that you just want to do more of. That's what V1 is all about. Ryan and Sam, I know you guys aren't ready to really talk a lot about that, but maybe we can have a discussion. I mean, Kyle's here, and Andreas is here, so maybe we can discuss what's going into that list of stuff that we're gonna go tackle. What is it that you guys, as if you were brand new to all this, what's missing that you need, that you think it really needs to go into V1 to make it a good V1?
Yeah, we're discussing this yesterday with Lucas as well. API, clear definitions, use cases, diagrams, that was on the list. We're also looking at tooling and what automations, what tools or extensions to tools can we add to really scaffold the experience. So to your point, John, of if you're not coming in with that extensive systems experience and all of that landscape, how do you get involved? How do you turn this on quickly? If you were to look at things like, yarn packaging or Yeoman builds, is there a way to set up a biased instance of the protocol so that it becomes usable very quickly? And then hooking in all the different facets that are required, from local project client to servers running, could be Docker packaging. So that's kind of what we're exploring now, and trying to flesh out a list of all the highest common patterns you can put in there, and the most common tool sets that they could be put in. So it was a recommendation to look at, Drew, I think it was yours, Visual Studio Code extensions being one of the most common.
Yeah, we need an SDK.
SDK will also be great to just, somebody as a developer, he's able to just auto complete some of the functional methods in their own source, their own application. So yeah, that
Oh
would
yeah,
be
that's right.
developer perspective.
Yeah, Drew, you were saying I loved this idea, and we got to get Kale Teeter and the Microsoft gang to get on this. I love the idea of but introspection and type ahead on a package on VS Code, right? That would be. I think that's probably doable. We got to talk to Kale about that.
It's just that we have to define the grammar of the
Yeah.
API endpoints are clearly defined, but we will have to define the methods exactly. So I think Andreas and we will have to just write JSON scripts, and yeah, it can be packaged.
Yeah, you just need a couple of npm modules and export them so that you can pull them into your own code, JS code to use those, to use the wrapped methods, right? I mean, as a method.
There's examples. There's quite a few packages that you can actually pull right now and see a lot of the API. It's not all of it. Yeah, maybe I can share that.
Yeah, it just takes a concerted effort. I just went through this, or still I'm going through this with another project that had a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of endpoints, both REST API as well as DITCOM endpoints. And in order to be really usable and easily usable by other participants and applications, it was an SDK, so that was built, and now there's significant more uptake. So
I think another avenue that we can explore for I don't want to call it tooling, but loosely, is if you take something like AWS's well-architected framework and you start applying the tool that they put against that, which is really, because a portion of this is systems, right? It's one thing to be a developer, but the overall implementation is a systems effort across organizations. So it's not going to be an individual developer accomplishing that goal. So if you have a survey and a means of documenting and having a checklist that is prescribed by the community on what it means to be compliant. We also talked about possibility, if it can become consistent enough, creating a static analyzer as a Visual Studio Code extension. If there's a way to interrogate, a specific implementation type and look for correct applications, that integration points are there, APIs are implemented. So all kinds of fun ideas.
By the way, it's like API portal is part of the next PR that's going to be dropped into the standard.
All right.
Go ahead and merge that PR, Andreas. Merge it.
Merge it.
Dude, you're late, man. You need to get on the agreement. We only wait for you to merge it. Otherwise, it's like I can just merge it right now. We have enough votes, right?
You guys are like an old married couple.
Wait another day.
I know, we are.
All right.
It works.
Well, yeah, let's do the merging. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the merge. Hit the merge. Hey, folks that are out there that are tuning in, if you write code, get off your butt, get in here. We need your help. And also, let me mention a couple of things. One is we are hiring. You might see Tyler here. When his camera was on, you might have seen him typing on our internal meetings. He's our head of projects, and our meetings like this, he's like, okay, that's a ticket. That's a ticket. That's a ticket. We're going to hire a community manager / driver / and maybe on the upside, if we can find somebody that's also got some light tech chops that are able to lead on docs. We're ready to hire that person right now. So if you're that person, or if you know them, you know how to find us. We want to get that person installed into the community. They'll be working for my company, Consensus, reporting to Nick and myself, but they'll be organizing the baseline protocol community as I and Nick spend more and more time building our business that's based on baselining. So as we get busy doing that, there's an old phrase I like, which is if you want to fail at two things, do two things, right? So if we're going to focus on building the business and focus on keeping the community active, we're going to need somebody else to help. So if you're that person, if you've got really good organizational integrity, operational integrity skills, good linear thinking, good at, and then good at nagging people to get work done, give us a call. We need a Tyler for baseline. Is what we need. We worked on cloning Tyler, but it was just horrible results. It was terrifying.
Yeah, they actually are gonna make a movie out of that. It's called Species 4.
So yeah, that's a big announcement. We are committing to hiring that person, and could not work faster on that. So if you're interested, come on in. The other thing is all this work that we've been just talking about. If you want to, oops, that didn't work. If you're tuning in on YouTube, at least, you'll see that on your screen, the Baseline Grants program, funded by the Ethereum Foundation. Thank you very much, Ethereum Foundation. And there's still a good chunk of money in here, unallocated yet, for projects. And with that, and it's really easy to just go to baseline-protocol.org, and you can get into the either propose a grant project or respond to a bounty project. And if you're not real comfortable proposing a project, that's okay. You can contact any one of us and talk it through before you propose it. So you don't have to feel like you just have to go in cold. You can just get on the Slack, ping any one of us on this channel that you see, any of these names. You'll find us, and give us, we'll just talk it through. That's what, in fact, Dhruv Malik did. And Dhruv, you're working on the Hello World project, right?
Yes, and currently I will try to run an example on the provide stack, and just it will be basically trying to show that if in a two counterparty system, if somebody has enabled baseline, they are not able to change the common frame of data as a reference. So I will currently, if time permits, I will put a grant on that.
Also, John,
ping me and let me know. I'm happy to.
Sure. Thanks, guys.
John, do you want to talk about the RFP we're working on, where we're actually going to go out to the community and ask for something specific to be done?
Yeah.
About the Ethereum-based Dip method and incorporating that into the reference implementation. That's what's currently being prepared to be put out and put up for the community to put in proposals. So you don't have to wreck your brain. There's some concrete things that you want to put your energy behind it, because it's really important, because DIDs and verifiable credentials are a key piece and core part of the baseline protocol and the standard. So we want to make sure that we also have an Ethereum-based Dip method that is scalable in there and within the reference implementation.
Hey, Kyle, you have something to say there?
No problem. Yeah, I was just going to say that there's a branch where there's some work on that has been done already, that can be shared along with the.
All right, right on. Andreas, do you want to take some time on this video, or next week? Next week, by the way, is next week the 29th? It is, right?
It is.
All right, everybody tune in next week. There's a pretty sweet announcement. It's only the first of many that I think are going to be, well,
Actually,
I think are
30th to correct. Today is the
Okay.
23rd, so next week is the 30th.
All right. Well, there'll be a nice announcement to talk about next week that that should be interesting to enterprise organizations in particular. Yeah, so that you want to tune in for that. But Andreas, do you want to talk about this today, or do you want to kind of prepare something for next week that?
No,
we can
I
take people
think
through?
I can. It's relatively straight. It's relatively straightforward. There is the reason why this is going to be put out is because you want to be able to manage many partners, right? And you want to have stacks that can have customers that have many business partners, right? So if you have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands in your network, right? You need a and they have, there's not going to be just one individual from that organization that has to interact with Baseline, but many, and they need to be authorized. So you need a method for decentralized identifiers that's scalable and that is robust. And obviously we wanted it to be Ethereum based.
When I'm talking to corporate, I usually call that modern digital identity for companies, right?
It's for companies. It is, yes.
I don't know that the
it's modern
decentralized
digital
part plays as well, and I'm not sure it's as important as the fact that it's
Yeah.
time for us to have
it is-
a
Well,
modern
it's the
digital
identifier.
identity.
It's the identifier that's decentralized.
Yeah, it enables scalable federated identity
I
that
like
is
that.
crucial for large scale ecosystems such as in supply chain, which is going to be also mandated very soon by governments. There's a big effort push in Germany going on. There's one here in the US. Through the Customs and Border Patrol, part of DHS.
There's a new project in the Oasis Open Foundation that's called it's, if you go to Oasis and look up Proof of Origin.
Right.
It's run by an ex Ernst & Young guy and really knows supply. Yeah, so they're building the standard out for Proof of Origin, which is going to be part of that whole.
Exactly.
Custom scene. Yeah,
exactly. And there's work going on in the W3C around that. So the basic point here is, if you want to enable large scale supply chain ecosystems, right, which we now see in the world, we need to be able to have, it's like fluid trust boundaries. You need something that's scalable, right? So scalable methods to establish these scalable trust federations require the right method, and we want it to be Ethereum based. And luckily, there is already an existing standard, which is called Sitetree, and there is an Ethereum based method that there is a reference implementation for, but it's not yet compliant with the latest version of the spec. So the RFP is going to be about make that DID method spec compliant. That's the first piece. The second piece is, and then once you have that, put it into either one or both of the baseline reference implementations. So because then when you're spinning up a baseline stack, you're not only spinning up a baseline stack, but you're spinning up a public node for the Ethereum-based Sitetree DID method. And as more and more baseline stacks are going to be spun up, you'll have a very robust, large scale network of nodes that can offer identifier and identity services to anyone.
So Andreas,
So-
what is a a contributor in the community, like somebody that's got some code skills? What can they? What do we want to see them do? And what's the bounty on this?
It's going to be pretty good,
Like
right?
10K?
It's like more.
Well, we limit out at 10K unless it's a super special situation.
It is a super special situation. I already talked with the Ethereum Foundation about that. So they're behind that. So we're going to bounty that out like at a very attractive price, because it is the foundation for pretty much any enterprise application can now leverage that,
agree.
right?
Yeah,
right. So
needs to be done.
it's
Well, I was just
needs to
talking
be
with
done.
a huge ERP vendor this morning, and this was central to the conversation. So yeah, it's important. 2022 needs to be the year of the DID, and that'll help us a lot. And if we get V1 out, we can support that, and also when we get V1 out before the end of the year, we can support that, and we can also make 2022 the year of production baselining.
With the IDs.
With the IDs, yeah, exactly.
With Ethereum-based
So
IDs on
for
mainnet.
anybody that wants to get involved with that, and I mean, we have some pretty great people around that here at Consensus as well. I'm sure they'd be interested in that work. Nick, we should probably lateral that to them and make sure they're aware.
Well, yeah, they like Italo has already been involved. I think he'd be a good one to tap as well.
Well, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. And of course, Reuben Heck, the illustrious and famous Reuben Heck, and all those guys. Certo. So where does one go to find out and then engage in trying to get that bounty?
That will be published. The TSC needs to approve it, and then we will put it out on the
Gitcoin.
We put it on Gitcoin, and we put it on the baseline bounty or proposal.
All right.
GitHub, and then market the living daylights out of it.
All right. Well, stay tuned to the Baseline Show, folks, and we'll perhaps next week we'll be able to tell you where, when, and how to get involved with that. That sounds like serious money, for a serious mission, right? So we have some incentive funding, as we were talking about, for R&D and enablement projects around Baseline. And I don't think that'll be the last money we see. So get involved. Right now, the most important thing is getting the money spent.
That is very true.
Getting more companies baselining.
Getting more companies baselining. That's right. I mean, I have to say, I think I was spoiled by the fact that you guys, Jack, pulled off public announcements at the beginning of projects around Baseline with major entities. It's pulled a lot of attention and interest your way. And I was spoiled by that. Most of the time in these enterprise projects, you don't hear about it for 2 years until they actually release the thing. And so I'm hearing about all this stuff privately that cannot be spoken. And I'm like, please just go out and announce it publicly. I'll pay you. I got $10 here. I'll give you $10 for that. And they're like, no. It's just
Sincerely, we got more public ones coming.
Yeah, big companies tend to not want to tip their hand until they're out in the market. But I will once again.
Based on certain trajectory that we have and on the level of development that's been ongoing within certain cycles that we've had, we're nearing public announcement of others as well, which is great, just based on the amount of effort that has gone in by Kyle and the greater team to get us to this point. So we're expecting that here upcoming.
Hey, Drew, you're closest to Jack. Can you hand him a drink?
See, Andreas.
Sorry, I didn't got the idea.
I need you to. Do you have a fifth of whiskey there that you can hand to Jack so we can get more out of him today?
I can give wine because French wine are the finest, but cognac also in case.
Oh yeah, if you've got cognac there, you can send it to me.
I might argue with you on the French wine thing.
Here, let me see if I can. Here, just I'll get right down.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice, thank you. Do a little Brady Bunch thing here. So That's really great news, Jack. And we're seeing the same stuff over here. But I don't know. You guys seem to have this amazing knack to get your clients to actually talk about what they're doing before they're finished. I wish we could replicate that in more places.
Yeah, I think when we can instill a level of confidence that we can get the stack working to the extent that we can, it builds that level of confidence within these customers and puts it at a different level of appetite and understanding for how that they can ultimately utilize and leverage it moving forward.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I think we do have a production grade stack.
Right on. Right on. Although I'm not sure, we've adulterated the term production over the last 5 years as an industry so much. I'm not even sure what production means anymore. But yeah, as long as it works and doesn't break, I think that's good.
It means you can do real business on it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Not news yet, but hopefully coming soon. So what else is going on with the community? Samrat, how last week you did the Indian show? So when are we going to do the next show from your time zone?
Well, I just pushed it a little, so it's now gone to 1st of July. But I wanted to actually gather sufficient amount of steam and people. So I'm also talking to 2 community managers, who already run huge communities here, and one of them is an absolutely fantastic community called Blockchain India.
Yeah.
And they have about 50,000 plus developers already, and a lot of them do public blockchain. So I know the founders of that group. I think I've been one of the members since they just started off. So yeah, that is going to be one of my key allies here.
All right.
I was
just
doing that on one side and on the other side. Yeah.
I got an email this morning from a big Indian company that said that they can't use Slack, and they want me to set up an email list of technical folks that they can, where effectively they can do what we would normally do on Slack, but they need a kind of an email thread, and so I'll do that. I'll set that up today.
Okay.
I'll include you in on that.
Yeah, do that. That would be awesome. So yeah, I think we are all set. Even the creatives are done. The creatives are all done. So we have a banner, we have a invite, we have stuff. So I'll send it to you separately.
Oh yeah, cool. Maybe I can learn a thing or two.
Very professional. We have to go with, we have to put our best foot forward, and we've already got some community. So I think we have a head start.
Oh, this is good. We need to get a little competition going between you and me on who can do a better baseline show. That'll prompt me to start lifting my game. I can get some DaVinci Resolve in here. I'll get some real professional grade stuff. We'll make it look like CNN. Or
might be worth reminding people to hit the subscribe button and smash the likes and set up your notifications.
Hit the subscribe button, smash the like, hit the bell, all that stuff. Somebody told me that we need to set up a TikTok channel, and I'm like, really? I don't think you want to see me doing the flossy. I don't think that's what you want at all. Everybody's like, no. All right. So that's what that's all the news I've got right now. Nick, what have I missed?
I think you've got everything that can be discussed publicly. Like you said, the challenge is always balancing what's going on behind the curtain versus what can be shared on stage.
Yeah. Over the course of the conversation, Drew, Ryan, Sam, and others hey, Bishwashree, you guys, you're still working on that project of your own, right? So how's that going?
Hey, John. Yeah, I'm currently working on it. I'm working with Kyle on that project. So any questions I have, I direct it to him. So currently the plugin is able to send requests to the baseline stack, but there are still some errors that I'm getting because I don't know how the basic, like it's been a learning curve for me to figure out how the baseline stack actually works. So I'm still getting a few errors, but I'm like ironing them all out. And hopefully like soon I should be able to give you a demo, like even if it's not like completely done, but I should be able to do that.
Right on. Hey, you heard me say that we're looking for technical writing and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought maybe we should talk. All right. So hey, by the way, well, I guess they've fled the coop here, but I have to say, do we think Ryan, Sam, Dhruv, there's the base ledger project, and while you can put your baseline proofs anywhere you want, do you think that having sort of a go-to sort of substrate to that's always that's an L2 that's always there, is that going to help accelerate folks? And what do we think that thing needs to look like? Looking at you, Dhruv. I mean, as a new guy, would that help you?
Well, so to recap the previous discussions that we had in maintainers team, like Andrea's had put points regarding the kind of centrality of certain L2 solutions. I didn't read his article on Ethereum magicians, but his ideas were consistent. But from my point of view, when I think from more scalability perspective, using a kind of specified type of L2s like ZK rollups to try to combine the different proofs into a single transaction and pushing on to the mainnet will be a good approach to start with.
Or just making sure that, I mean, I'll tell you, for my part, I what I want is regardless of where you don't have to really worry about privacy, because we're not putting any information on the L2 or any blockchain anyway, right? We're putting, a bunch of, nonsense hashes, right? Or, fancy hashes, proofs, right? So those are going on. We need to hide who's doing it. So that's under zero knowledge. But beyond that, it's not like we're trying to maintain ETH balances or transaction amounts or anything like that, right? So there's no, or hide those things. So it's really just bagging and tagging proofs and then anchoring the Merkle roots into the mainnet, I think. Isn't it? To me, it's always, as a product guy, everything seems more simple and easy to say than it is to actually do. But that's the pattern in my head, right? So you just want, kind of speed, scalability, and some resistance to like having somebody lock you out of a transaction because they don't like you. Right? And
also about double spend, like trying to have consistency that somebody can't try to run the same shield contract on somebody else chain and try to dissociate identity with the proofs.
Good point.
So for that, I think Sam had already suggested quick fix in shield contract to try to bind the chain ID of a particular fork with the specific contract.
Yeah, I really liked that idea. I thought it was pretty smart stuff.
So, I mean, yeah, we will have to work on that. It's in, currently mentioned as we had discussions, but yeah, we will come out with the solution. But I mean, in brief, I will think other, in Ethereum ecosystem, the optimism and, some other type of L2 solutions, they are for more financially oriented. They use some sort of arbitration for cross volume flows. They try to lock some certain funds in case to ensure that there is no, rug pull or some type of attacks. But for our use case, we really need a subset in if I understand correctly, that we really don't put some, critical personal identifiable information.
And it would, I'm guessing it's important that, like, if you're kind of modeling on Ganache, you're going to want to be able to push, click onto that L2 and not have to retool it for non-EVM or something like that. So I should think that that's important as well.
Yeah, I mean, that you can put in settings, and when you rebuild it, so npm builds and creates the transaction corresponding to a specific chain, which we have mentioned in the properties of Nash or truffle box, for instance.
Right on. So yeah, that's been on my mind. I think that will be another nice tool to have. Is just out of the box. Yeah, you put stuff wherever you want, but here's a pretty quick and easy go-to place for it. Right now, all I'm thinking about is how do we smooth the path? How do we make it easy, fun, simple, or not simple, nothing simple, but straightforward and satisfying for people to baseline? All right. Well, with that, I think we can probably give ourselves some time and time back today. We'll call it at 45 minutes here. Thanks everybody. I'm seeing thanks for the birthday wishes, Tom May, and party hard. So with that, I'll say,
Don't have a drink now that you're legal.
Now that I'm legal, now that I'm 55, now that I can go and actually live in the villages or get my AARP card.
Well, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, right. Oh, is the AARP card 50?
It's 50.
50, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't hear you. What?
Yeah.
But if you sign up, you get a really sweet trunk organizer right here.
Kids today.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my YouTube channel.
YouTube. What in my day?
All right.
All right. We did Chautauquas. And we liked it. All right. Everybody have a great baseline-y day, and we'll see you next week.
We had to walk uphill.